What's up, guys? We've got another gear review for you here today. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and this is something I think is very important. If you're not paying attention to the news, you'll know that Texas recently had some very severe flooding all throughout the central Texas area. This was not due to some government conspiracy or any kind of failure of the local government. It was literally just based on dry ground, central Texas, lots of rain and lots of hills, and everything flooding down into one area over a short period of time. Something simple as this can cause real catastrophic issues for you down the road. Unfortunately, the death toll is going higher and higher. I believe it's over 100 people died from this. But what do you do if you find yourself coming back to not having a home or not having a place to stay or anywhere to stay warm? Same thing if you're living up north. They have had record snow over the past couple of years, and so I think it's very important to make sure that you keep yourself warm and you can make sure you keep yourself hydrated. So today we're going to be doing a review of both of these Sierra Madre products. They're going to be the emergency sleeping bag and the emergency water drinking straw. And what's different about this one from several of these water straws out there, there's no system to take this apart and replace filter cartridges and stuff like that. These are inexpensive enough that you can literally just use it whenever you need it and you can dispose of it. And that's what I really like about both of these products, is that you can take the straw and I can have one of these straws in every one of my vehicles. I can have one in my hunting bag. I can have one literally in my day-to-day, everyday carry bag, so I always know that I've got tools on hand to help me survive. And that goes also for the Sierra Madre emergency sleeping bag here. This thing is literally the size of one of those miniature cans of Coke, so it's nice and small and compact. I can stick this in my hunting bag, in my EDC bag, in my cars, everything just as like the drinking straw. I can have these two things together. As I'm listing the specs on this, they're going to be scrolling across the screen, so if you have any questions, you might want to open your phone up, and so if you're just listening, you might want to tune in and check these things out. So the specs are going to be scrolling across the screen. But again, this is an ultra compact, ultra light Mylar sleeping bag. So you've probably seen the sleeping blankets and emergency blankets before that fold up flat. Well, this is basically like having two of those things sewn together in a durable fashion, so that basically I can wrap myself completely up in this. So the problem with a lot of those emergency sleeping bags is that with the contact on the ground, you're still gonna lose heat through your body, through the ground. And I'm gonna prove that because it is hot out here right now. If you can't tell, I'm already sweating here. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you that even on a warm ground at night, you can lose heat through your body. Obviously, this would be a much more drastic test if it were cold outside right now. But the thing is, there's a common misconception is that it has to be cold outside to get hypothermia. I know this because on both of my elk hunts, I have gotten hypothermia induced by fatigue and overexertion. This is a really cool thing. I wish I would have had one of these sooner, but this bag here, like I say, I could have put this inside my sleeping bag to really help make sure that I regain my heat and that I don't lose any heat through the material in my sleeping bag. And again, this thing's so lightweight, I would not blink twice at having this in my bag. So this thing is huge. So right now it's touching the ground and it's at least a foot over my head here. So very tall sleeping bag. It is durably welded here. I can see these stitch and these seams and everything is nice and durable, so it's not gonna come apart, especially just from sitting in the bag and whatnot. But what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna test this with a FLIR camera. So I have a FLIR camera for my phone that I can actually show you the temperature of the ground. I can show you the temperature of my body before and after getting in the bag here. And that way you can really see everything and you can see how well it works. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. As a carnivore and somebody who travels for work a lot, it's not always easy for me to hit my protein goals. So whenever I get a craving for a juicy piece of meat to put in my mouth, I jump to the protein sticks from First Form. These are great because they're only 170 calories, they have 20 grams of protein, no MSGs and no nitrates in them. They're also very versatile and easy to pack and take with you wherever you want to go. You can stuff it in your sack. You can keep it in your drawers. You can play with it in bed. And once you're finished, you can always stick it in your partner's box while they're sleeping. So if you're on a carnivore on the run like me, it's great to have the First Form protein sticks with you to make sure you don't miss your protein goals and you don't end up cheating on your diet. So go check out the links in my Instagram bio or check out the links in the bottom of my YouTube description to check out the First Form protein sticks for yourself, and I know you won't regret it. Okay, so what we're gonna do for this test here is, like we say, we've got the thing on the ground here. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you, like say, the general ground temperature here. I hope I got the FLIR aimed correctly. I'm gonna show you my back just to show you kind of what we're working with here. Temperature wise, it is hot out here. It's like, let's see, it's about 95 degrees right now. It was about 100 when the sun was up in the sky. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set a stopwatch on my phone here, and I'm gonna go for 2 minutes just laying flat on my back and show you basically how the temperature can change here. Oh, here we go. So basically I'm just getting a baseline here and trying to show you that even on a hot day like this, laying on the ground, you will lose some heat through your back contacting the ground. So even though it's been 100 degrees today, I still can conduct some heat through the ground here. Ten seconds left. All right, so let's see, what do you think? Can you see a change? I know, like I said, I can feel just as I was laying on the ground right here is cooler. So anyways, so next thing we got to do is we got to show you that basically with this bag on, it's going to definitely drastically increase my temperature. And you can see that I don't lose any heat through the ground as well. Plus a really interesting side effect I'm pretty sure that will show on the FLIR. So you won't see any heat through the outside of the bag, but once I show you the inside of the bag, you'll see that definitely you can see the heat being retained there. So now we're going to slip the bag on so you can kind of see. Looks like a giant windsock. So I'll slide in nice and easy. Okay. You'll see on the FLIR, it's kind of interesting because you'll see this purple area here. And that's the bag. Basically, there's no heat. It's reflecting heat back, and so there's no heat inside or outside the bag being lost here, but it's reflecting it back in. So I'm gonna sit inside of here. I can already feel it getting toasty. Now we're gonna go inside the bag. Just having thoughts about this now. This would be a great way to lose some water weight. It's like a sauna suit. Ooh. So just to show you the height of this thing, where I'm at right now, my feet are all the way at the bottom. I can pull this thing all the way over my head here. Now think about it too, this would be a good way to reflect heat. If I turn this thing inside out and face it towards the sun, I could probably keep my gear pretty cool inside of here if it were inside out. So okay. All right, now we're getting out. I can already see from the FLIR that I'm definitely much warmer. I'm sweating. I don't know if you can see that over my shirt. I'm sweating already. Oh my God, it feels so much better out here. Like my legs are drenched in sweat. So again, great sauna suit. But during the winter, I think this would be extremely valuable. Let me see if I can get myself centered on the FLIR here. So yeah, I think this thing would be extremely valuable, and it's something that's really going to, oh yeah, you can see all the heat areas on my shirt here where I sweated out. So anyways, cool product. This thing is fairly inexpensive, enough to where I could buy multiples and scatter these all across all of my gear, hunting bags, EDC gear, everything, and have enough to where if I got myself in an emergency situation, which these Texas floods were a real wake-up call for that, you know, it's worth every penny, because that could be in a situation where you get wet, you get soaking wet, you find yourself stumbling through the woods in a rainstorm, you're getting hypothermia. Even in the summer, this can happen. Hurricane season is a long time here in Texas, especially on the Gulf Coast. This could be really helpful for you guys to really stay warm and keep yourself safe. Or to be able to bring to a situation where other people need it to stay warm. But the next thing we got to test out is the emergency drinking straw. And this thing, I think, would have been one of the most crucial things to have in one of those situations where there's catastrophic flooding, cold weather, stuff like that, because this allows me to drink water from almost any source. And to do this, to test this out, I went to a pretty gross source. I went to the Blanco River and I actually drank straight from the river in stagnant water to test if this was okay. And guess what? I didn't get sick. Let's test this out next, and this is the emergency drinking straw from Sierra Madre Research. All right, guys, we are here at the Blanco River. We're on our way back down to Houston, and I stopped at this spot here because it's got some water here. Pretty dry part of the river. We just wanted to come test the Sierra Madre Research. This is kind of like their version of the live straw. This is an emergency drinking straw. So don't try this at home. Don't try this unless it's an actual emergency situation here. But we're gonna get in here, we're gonna test the water and see how it goes. All right, so we're gonna get down on one knee here. Again, don't try this at home, but here we go. So, yeah, I mean, it's clear. The water coming out tastes just, I mean, it's warm, obviously, because it's kind of a stagnant pool here, but it's warm. Yep. It tastes fine. Now, here's the real test, is we're gonna see if I get sick in a couple days. We're also gonna test this on other pools of water just to see if it's functional and if it actually works. And the big test again is gonna be to see, do I get sick from it? I'll be home and I'll be safe and I'll be in a place where I can get medical care if I need it, but don't try this at home, all right? So, all right, without further ado, let's go ahead and go into the next spot. All right, guys, so we are out here. We're in South Dakota in the Black Hills. Coming out here, we found us a little creek crossing, and we're gonna try out the emergency water straw again. So we're gonna check this out and see what we can find. It is beautiful out here. All right, so here's our little creek that we're gonna test this with. It's a little bit of flowing water. Stick this out here. I'm gonna lay down to do it. All right, let's give it a shot here. Tastes pretty good. All right, that was actually refreshing. So perfect timing too, because I was starting to get pretty thirsty. I've been walking and hiking and flying the drone here in the Black Hills all day. I've worked up a mighty thirst, so done the test. Another couple days wait to see how we do. So far, so good. And man, it's just gorgeous out here. Absolutely loving it. So guys and gals, don't forget to pick up your Sierra Madre emergency drinking water straw. So if you're ever in a beautiful place like this, you'll never go without water. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. I almost forgot. And as always, keep defying the odds.